and welcome to another episode of Varinheim. I bring you today a Noah. And a quick shout out to our sponsor, D&D Beyond. D&D Beyond, goodbye kitty, is an online digital tool set for DMs and players alike. As mentioned before, it helps keep track of your hit points, your equipment, your gold, books that you may find along the way, and the notes that you may need to figure out the issues that are going on in your campaign. So, as always, I recommend checking out D&D Beyond. And with that, let's talk about the last session. Last session, the players ran into a group of the Howling Wolves. After trying to set up an ambush for them, possibly later on by setting a couple of alarm spells, two members that were rather a little overexhausted kind of got, one of them got themselves caught, i.e. Tanathil. Poor Tanathil. He was able to make his way back to Ayana, or Fida, and Cricket, where essentially they had a rather intense battle for a little while before Stalker and Emerald were able to catch up. And hello. Anyway, Cat's back. Before the others were able to reunite and come out victorious. The group then the group I'll explain in a minute. The group then left, went to the camp where the Howling Wolves were able to capture a Gerard, and was trying to proceed to get information. And as Cricket was in the midst of interrogating Gerard, an arrow out of nowhere flew through the group and struck Gerard in the neck, with the following coming in right behind his back, with Cricket then proceeding to snap his neck. And that is where we left off. So let's bring the group in. Before we get started, I lost it because the cat jumped up in the chair, forgot it was a cat, and fell right back out.
Nice.
Want to throw that out there. He literally just Lion Kinged right out of the chair. Sorry. Anyway. Yeah,
Long live the king.
Long live Noah, who's now like just I have no clue. I think he's somewhat upset with himself. Either way, yes. You guys, it's late in the evening. It's around 1 in the morning. And an arrow just flew through the air, struck Gerard in the neck, almost killing him instantly, if not for the fact Cricket snapping his neck. Cricket snapping his neck finished off Gerard. And that is where you guys left off.
Severe was immediately rushing towards where that arrow came from.
Okay. I'm going to need you to roll a perception.
20. I get 20. 16.
16. As like you instantly like kind of like turn in the direction that the arrow came from. You can only see so far because if I'm not mistaken, you do not have dark vision, correct?
No, I can only see as far as the campfires are carrying.
All right. So
I mean, depending how well lit the area is by moonlight and such, but yeah.
Yeah, with the amount of moonlight that there is, you can see, I would say, consistently about 10 feet in front of you. After that, it just gets like past 10 feet, seeing much is hard. So you turn in the direction of the arrow using the campfire light and just bolt in that direction. After about, I would say, 60 to 80 feet outside of the camp where the light starts kind of like dimming because it's can't catch through the bushes and the trees and everything. It begins dissipating. You're only able to see about 10 feet in front of you. If I'm not mistaken, Saphira, you have also advantage on perception rolls when it comes to hearing, correct?
Yes.
All right, so can I get a second perception roll with advantage?
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, that was a natural 20, so 25.
Nice. Give me a second.
Correction, 26. Which means it was a 17 earlier. I'm derp.
Oh, good. I can't do math. What was your number again?
26.
26. As like you're kind of like listening out, you hear off in the distance, I would say around 40 feet, you just hear a like footsteps going just off in the distance. It's the person's walking. They're not in a rush.
Can I tell which direction it's moving?
Yes, for you, it's directly ahead to the left. So I would say almost west southwest. So I'm gonna so essentially be like that direction.
Oh, right, we have a map.
Yeah, y'all forgot about this.
Where did you mark just now?
Southwest, so about like
Okay.
that. So west southwest, not too far away, about 40 feet at most.
Um, she's going to keep moving that direction then.
Okay. Are you trying to be stealthy or are you just bolting towards them?
Uh, Probably moving quietly at this point because she can't see very well and is more focused on listening to their movement.
All right, roll stealth then.
Oh shit, that was another natural 20. Um, 23.
As you're kind of just quietly moving through the woods, you're closing that gap more and more. And eventually you get about 15 feet from someone ahead of you. They're not very tall, around 4 feet. From what you can tell, though, they've got a cloak over their head, cowl of some sort, in rather dark clothing. They got a bow that's kind of just resting on their back with a quiver. From what you can see, they've also got two swords on either side, or one sword on either side, two total. What
Can I
is?
tell if they're facing me?
No, they're facing away from you. They're walking away from your direction.
Okay. Did anyone else follow with me?
I was actually about to ask that. What is everyone else doing? Saphira's bolted for the woods.
Cricket's going to stay kneeling next to the man she killed.
Okay.
I'm tired, yo. I'm not running.
Emerald's just like, I'm done.
I'm going to actually go with Stalker.
You're gonna go with Stalker? Okay.
Yes.
Stalker,
I'm
I'm gonna
stalker's
stay
quick.
I'm gonna stay probably like 10, 15 feet back from maybe even 20 feet back from Stalker though. As
okay.
Stalker sneaking through because I'm not nearly as sneaky, but I can
I'm
see I have dark vision.
right. I am going to need you to roll a stealth check.
What's the worst that could happen? Natural 20.
Oh my gosh.
3 in a
Takes me
row.
to a grand total of 22.
If I'm not mistaken, Fida, you do have dark vision, correct?
I do have dark vision.
All right. In the person you see in the distance is about 4.5 feet tall at the most. Wearing a cowl, it's black, but it looks ragged, looks worn. The bow on the back is black with intricate markings kind of like along it. It looks like it's, how should I say, a personal bow that someone has probably had made for them. The person also, as mentioned before, has two swords, one on either side, both sheathed. They're not drawn. The quiver on the back, as mentioned, does have arrows in it, but this person doesn't seem to be, doesn't take to y'all as being a threat because they're still just walking away from y'all rather calmly. You can't see the person's face though. They're not facing y'all at all. So, what is Stalker and Fida doing?
Saphira is immediately jumping on that person to take them to the ground once she is close enough.
I'm gonna need you to roll a strength check.
Okay.
Leap, leap of faith.
That is an 18, I think. Yes.
Like as like you just jump on this person, like they just facing the ground. The person's gonna like automatically like try and like break free, but you just kind of like hold them there. But they don't reach for their weapons of any sort. But you've got them pushed onto the ground. Their face is buried, and
Calling out, do I know Fida's nearby? I missed how far she is from
yeah,
me.
I'm
I
about
would say
10
you.
feet back from you, and actually from here, after I see Stalker jump on this person, I'm going to walk forward so that I'm on the other side of this person from Stalker.
Fida, grab their weapons.
I grab the weapons.
And if I'm not mistaken, are you holding this person by like the shoulders or the arms? And I'm pretty
Oh,
sure they're
she's
still
straight
At
up
this point, I
like
think it's tackled on the
laying on
ground.
them. Yeah,
laying on them. Okay,
pretty
like
much.
4-foot person with the
Like trying to keep them on the
8-foot.
ground with her weight as well as strength.
okay. As like you kind of like bury the person into the ground and everything, and start getting the weapons. That's when the person's gonna like really try to like break free. Like as soon as like Fida goes to grab Stalker, you hear a voice and it just says, "You touch my weapons, and we will have an issue, no matter our
She is
past."
not
You
listening
shot
to them at all.
into the crowd of
hold
people
it.
where we are.
Stalker, you recognize the voice instantly.
What
Dion?
is the voice?
Celine Dion?
It's Garrick.
Celine Dion.
Celine Dion.
Chris
Like,
Pratt?
It just breaks out into song.
In
Garrick's
the
voice.
arms.
it's Garrick's voice. As soon as he says, "Do not touch my weapons," you will regret that, no matter our past.
Doesn't change
Garrick's
what
voice.
she's doing.
Okay. So Fida takes Garrick's weapons.
I'm going to not take them yet, but I'm going to prep Eldritch Blast and get Stalker to stand up, keep a hold on Garrick, and say, "Back to the camp with us." We're going back to the camp now.
I'm gonna say that Garrick is gonna try and break. So, strength versus strength, strength save versus strength save, or yeah,
He can also use acrobatics if
Mhm.
he's better with acrobatics than athletics.
I'll do athletics. Roll 10.
15.
Okay. Like you just like as like you try to like break free, you just grab and just pull up on him.
Yeah.
We can
Which,
carry you instead.
yeah,
4.5
which is
feet.
exactly what she's doing. She's just
Which
picking
yeah.
him up and walking towards the light.
as like you pull him up there, Soccer, like his 4.5 feet tall body is just dangling. His feet are just dangling from you. But as like you pull Fida, you can directly see Garrick's face. It's Garrick. Cal covers it. Like the cowl comes up and it covers from like here down. But you can clearly see at this point, you guys can actually get a better look at all of what he's wearing. You see that he has bracers that are kind of like covering his arm and everything all the way up to his wrist. You can see that the cowl comes down and that he's got a leather vest that kind of like keeps it kind of tucked in so it doesn't kind of like flap in the wind or anything, but he's able to like kind of remove the hood if needed. There is a kind of cape that's attached to the leather that looks somewhat worn, but it does shimmer slightly in the night. Almost as if like you're seeing it kind of like move in two different places at once. His boots you see come up, and you can see that his pants are kind of like tucked into his boots, and his boots are tied tight. So, but a good portion of his clothing looks rather worn, as if he's been in a few fights recently.
I'm going to reach up and pull the cowl down so that there's a clear view of him,
Of his
and
face?
yeah, and
Yeah,
walk right
as
back
the
to the camp. We're gonna walk
yeah,
right back to the camp with Garrick and Carrie.
as like you kind of like pull the cowl down, like you can see that it like it just kind of like falls and like kind of like just rests, covering his neck and everything. So, but you take Garrick back to the camp.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As you guys kind of like bring Garrick, he's just I also want to point out, by the way, y'all do see like a shimmer in his eyes. Uh Similar shimmer in your eyes there, uh Fida to dark vision. So just want to point that out there. So you guys bring Garrick back to the camp. He's kind of like trying to break free every now and then, but Stalker, you've got a hold on him. He's not breaking.
Yeah, once we get back into camp, I'm going to ask Cricket to help me tie him up. This person claims to be Garrick. Help me tie him up, Cricket.
Like as like you're kind of like walking around taking to help tie him up there, Cricket.
No, actually. She's still looking down at the man, and she's tracing her fingers on certain points of the body, all connected, just touching various points and then pressing down, various points pressing down all through.
Stalker, I
Trying
think
his
she's
best.
busy right now. I'll help you with that.
Thank you.
By the way, Augur, I'm going to give you control of Tanithil's character sheet, by the way. On roll 20. Just letting you know.
Ooh.
As so Fida, Stalker, you guys are tying up Garrick?
I think Stalker is holding Garrick, and I'm going to start by tying his feet and then tying his hands.
Okay. Like as you guys are tying him, Garrick is just like, you're wasting my time. Like he's just trying to like break free, and it's just like
This would be a
not
lot
going
easier.
well.
So-called Garrick, this would be a lot easier if you were not struggling. We have a lot of questions for you, and shooting into the middle of us while we were trying to get answers and killing the person that we were trying to get answers from warrants this.
I already know the answers that you probably need.
Well, it's a good thing you were not coming back to the camp then. So, to get those answers, you can sit down and you can start talking.
Would it make it easier if I proved whether or not I was Garrick?
It would make it easier if you would stop struggling and let us restrain you so that we can make sure you're not just going
I don't need to be
run.
restrained. I don't need to be restrained. You are not
Don't
taking
believe
my-
you right now. You just walked
Yeah.
away from us after you shot into the middle of us.
Yeah.
This is for
Someone
safety reasons.
I didn't hit y'all.
No, you didn't.
And I got the target, one of the targets that I'm after. So
Can-
At this point, I'm just gonna kind of look up at this fella and give him a good hard couple seconds of staring. Does he seem off to me in any way, shape, or form?
roll insight.
Sure.
Also, he's gonna look. He's like, "How about this? You don't believe that I'm Garrick."
I will look him in the face with a lot.
Oh God.
That's a 17 plus 10, 27.
I'm gonna send you
Oh.
something, Otter.
Yay, whispers. I'm
Whoa,
ready.
online whispers.
Where are you sending it to me? I have many
Discord.
windows up right now. Okay, Discord.
He acts like Eric. He's calm. He's being very upfront. But the thing I sent you is, yeah.
Yeah, as he continues talking, Saphira just, now that he's fully bound, just leans into him and shushes him. Shh. Quiet. There are far too many things that don't add up. For one, where is Night Stalker? And she is just unflinching eye contact from a few inches away into his eyes.
Night Stalker is gone.
Gone where?
Gone entirely.
And why haven't you brought him back?
I can't.
Now that we're in the light, do his weapons look like his weapons?
Yeah, his weapons are his weapons. The bow is the bow that he had beforehand.
They look like the same ones that were
Yeah.
like broken in the fort.
Yeah. Well,
Because his bow was broken in the fort near the pool of blood and
Yep.
yeah,
whatnot.
Hey,
It
it looked
Stalker.
identical.
Yes, Emerald. She is
1 second
she
here,
is
podcast.
not breaking eye contact.
How about that wound we believe he sustained on his neck? Is that there?
She will look when Trail is back.
Person thought door was locked when it wasn't.
Oh.
Like you were saying.
Did you hear what
I missed that
Emerald
because
said?
out of range. Sorry.
Okay. He asked if the wound on his neck is still there, so she will break eye contact for just a moment.
Y'all can't
to
see
look.
the wound. The cowl's actually covering it.
Oh, she'll yank it down further than just like
As like you
pull it
yank
so
this
she can-
cowl down, y'all see a 2-inch wide gash across his throat.
There is a wound there, Emerald. She immediately looks back. Just eye
By the way, I
contact.
do want to point out, by the way, like as you try to like do that, like he would like try and pull back, but he's restrained. He can't stop that.
Hold on to that rope real tight for a second.
Okay.
I am going to produce my holy symbol and cast Turn Undead.
I'm gonna have everyone but Otter mute their.
Deafen?
Deafen. Just everyone deafen.
I mean,
Okay.
Minus
I
Elder.
I can do that just for everybody. Make
Just
life
do that.
easier.
Oh, okay. That works.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, do that.
Please hold everybody.
I'm holding.
Good.
Holding.
Okay. I don't think anyone can hear
When
us.
people hear us. Oh,
Okay.
People can still hear you.
Right.
But casting turn undead,
What does that do to
each
a revenant?
are they considered undead?
I'm not entirely sure if a revenant is considered undead. Let me check.
Okay, because what it does, each undead that can see or hear you within 30 feet must make a wisdom saving throw. If it fails, it is turned for 1 minute or until it takes damage. It must spend its turns trying to move as far away from you as it can.
It is undead. So he needs to
Okay.
make a wisdom saving throw.
Needs to beat a 15 on a wisdom save.
He does not.
He wants to get the hell away from me.
Like,
So,
as soon as you
should I
do that,
bring everyone else in now and you can explain what's happening?
yes.
Okay. Oh, hello, everybody. You can hear us now.
Can you
Welcome
guys hear?
back. So,
Hello.
I'm
And-
going to produce my holy symbol from under my beard and just hold it out in front of this would-be Garrick. And you see it start
As
glowing this dark blue color.
The symbol or
Uh,
Garrick?
The
symbol.
symbol.
Oh.
as a symbol starts turning a blue color, Garrick's eyes go wide. The skin that is already palish now that he's in the light and everyone and Emerald can really see, almost goes even more, and he just becomes frightened and instantly just starts pulling away. Though he's still bound, but he's just wriggling to try and
Trying
get
to
away. Yeah, to get away
back
from
up.
it. Yeah.
Scooch back. Which Saphira will not let him scooch back.
What did you do, Emerald?
It seems our friend is no longer with us. That was a spell to repel the undead.
I see.
Cricket's
So,
looking up now at what's going on.
in one way or another, he's not going to want to be anywhere near me for a minute, so I'm going to take a couple steps back. And I will move
Keep him-
30 feet back, so there's a 30-foot distance, so he stops freaking out, and I'll just kind of sit there.
Keep him restrained.
like-
We need to know what's going on.
I wasn't right up on him anyway, so I'm probably like not moving very far back, just enough to not make him do the worm.
Yeah. As like Emerald gets further and further back, like Garrick just kind of like begins relaxing and calming down.
Saphira is just still staring him dead in the eyes, face to face.
So you are dead.
He's just kind of like looking off down to the side. I'd greatly appreciate it if I could be let go.
I'd greatly appreciate some answers from you as to what the fuck is going on here.
You can be released when I know that you are you.
I am as me as I will ever be.
So tell us what happened.
I will tell you what I did.
Please do.
But I won't tell you why I got there.
We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
I'd rather not. There's certain things you don't want to relive.
So tell us what you are willing to relive.
I made a deal. Essentially, as I died, I made a deal. I get the ones that killed me. In exchange, I become a servant upon completion, to a certain extent.
Servant to who?
Not allowed to say. If I do, then it's forfeit, and I don't get to do what I want. And what I want is seek revenge on the ones that
Do I believe this
did things.
statement from my distance?
Same question.
You two roll insight.
Oh, fuck. 23.
Oh,
Ammo?
six more than that. That's a 19 plus 10.
He's being very truthful.
Dude, I have a plus 10. As long as I
He's-
roll above a 9, it's better than my passive.
Otter, I have a
He's-
plus 3.
He's being very truthful.
Okay.
He's very solemn as he talks. He's just being honest and upfront. I made a deal with someone to kill the individuals that took part in my death. I have killed 2 of the 3, and I'm now working on the last one. Last one being Caden Kursk.
After a minute passes, I will move back up. Just, letting the spell run its course before I do so.
Where were you?
Reason why Night Stalker no return. You, not you.
It's not
Completely
him, no.
lost.
Where were you when you returned?
Where I died.
Fort.
Then why was Sylphir still there?
I can't actually summon Sylphir as well.
Lost. Earthly connection.
I'm sent back with a single task, and once that task is complete, and
Did you
my
ever
job is
find your
done.
daughter?
No. Found the man that took her.
I assume he's dead.
Working on that.
That's the last one on your list.
Yeah.
Then I have one other question. How do I summon Sylphir?
It's just a phrase. I request the presence of a dear friend. So once per day, Sylphir comes, you can send Sylphir back to the ethereal plane from which Sylphir comes from. Or upon Sylphir's death, in animated form, you can bring Sylphia back at the next light.
Without breaking eye contact with him or moving away, she reaches behind her, slowly pulls out a folded up pelt, lays it out carefully on the ground next to her. That's all I have to say.
Yes.
Just in common.
In common, Elvish, just whatever actually is comfortable to you.
Now, because I have a terrible attention span, please remind me what the phrase was.
I wrote it down. I request the presence of a dear friend. But
Okay,
Cricket's
thank
going
you.
to say it in Garrick's voice.
Man, you could have said any phrase, and he would have had to use it forever.
What beeps
I
and
literally
boodles.
forgot already in that time span. I was like, I know pieces, and
Yeah.
it's gone.
It is but beeps and boodles. That's
I
all.
Yeah.
request the presence of a dear friend. I didn't think that was that hard.
So Cricket just said it in his voice, in Garrick's voice.
Just make sure that you're holding the pelt. Like, hand on it. You can't just say it.
She's gonna reach out and touch it. Unless she can hear Cricket coming up. Okay. She's gonna reach out and touch it. And in Sylvan, we'll repeat the phrase.
As you finish repeating that phrase, the pelt begins morphing into an actual wolf in a sitting position, and Sylphia eventually just kind of like is just sitting there and just turns and looks at you.
She will visibly relax. Not completely. She's still a bit stiff, but leans back a little bit. She hasn't removed her hand from Sylphir. It's just like resting on his shoulders. Turns and looks at him. All right.
Be unbound.
Are you going to leave as soon as we do?
Not unless. Not unless y'all are willing to help.
Starts undoing the knot.
But when complete, could terrible thing happen?
I'd rather not think about that.
World
just-
left with end result unknown. We help, but what if more harm after?
I doubt there'd be much more harm. Cricket.
Does your deal have a time frame?
I am bound by an urge that no one should ever have to feel to complete it.
But there's no set time frame.
If I try to just go, I'll be drawn to complete it. I will leave in the middle of the night for no reason.
I vote it's bedtime. And then I would be more willing to discuss whatever this mission is in the morning, because, quite frankly, I am barely keeping on my feet right now.
Yeah, I'd say it's about 2 in the morning at this point. By the way.
If you're worried you're going to run off in the middle of the night, we can tie you to a tree. Little harness or something.
I will hold out, or I can, until morning. I won't leave. At least till morning.
Company still Sylphir. Update him on the situation. Stay here. Give him some time with you before you leave. We're good.
By the way, letting y'all know, I can keep watch for the evening. I don't sleep.
Neither does Sylphir. You can make the most of your time.
He literally just kind of
Yeah,
pets Sylphir on the top of the head and just kind of gently gestures Sylphir to go sit on a log. As he walks over there, Sylphir just kind of like sits with him. You can tell that Sylphir is somewhat. It's like a dog recognizing someone but not fully able to understand who they're with.
like
someone that
you
they've
haven't seen in a very long time.
Right.
And they look a little
Sylphir
different.
Right. Sylphir sits with Garrick. Garrick just kind of sits on a log and just is kind of staring up. You just look at the stars, the moon.
Going to interject here that I need that I have a boon for half the amount of sleep. So with that, I am going to go and get that 4 hours of sleep, and then I'm going to get up and also assist in keeping watch.
Saphira, after saying that to him, got up and is going to go over to the wagons full of people. Remind me, did we break the locks on those or
Yes.
not?
Yeah, y'all did break the
Okay.
locks. Y'all just haven't unbound them.
They're all bound.
Yeah.
We opened them. We opened them up and we gave them all food and everything.
I did not know they all done
Oh,
that.
that's right. Tanathil was
Oh.
giving them eggs.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah,
I
that's
went
right,
and
yeah.
I found bread in the tents and everything and gave them all food.
Okay, to be fair, that last part of that session was very just
It was
everything.
right. It was right at the very end.
Yeah.
She's going to go check and see if the people are just, like eating, staying still, relaxing.
They're eating. Some are talking about wanting to just leave so they can just head back to where they came from. Some of them are talking about the villages or towns that they are from. One of them is mentioning Aerith, a small town that's, how should I say, a few days away from you guys. Another one talks of Stonewall, Timber Ward. A lot of these people are from different locations, and I'm pretty sure you guys have a map, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like the
Several
map
at this point, I think.
the map is basically kind of like showing that like Timber Ward is to y'all southeast, Stonewall's directly west, and Aerith is northwest. So these locations are all over the place, and the fact that these people are together, the distance is insane on the amount that these people have traveled and grabbed people from these locations. Why are y'all smiling?
Nothing.
I feel like I've missed something. Anyway,
Nothing.
who was the one that made the pun? In the thing, who made the pun?
So
Otter, roll a d10.
Saphira is looking the people over to see if any of them look capable of defending themselves and asking them if they can fight, if they know the way home, if they know if the way home is safe from creatures and people and such,
Like, a few of them are.
or rather how safe it is.
I would say only a few are in able body shape. The others look like they haven't ate or just haven't had a decent meal or something to drink or good night's sleep in a week or two. They just do not look to be in any sort of shape to make a far travel. A few of the people that are like, we can protect ourselves, no issue. Especially if we use one of these carts and horses that they've don't have. The nearest town will be Timberboard.
Don't leave yet. I'll be back. And she's gonna go back over to the group. These people don't look to be in good shape. Well, I say you're, but I get the feeling none of us are really from around here. Do you think the towns will help them if they get if they all go to one of the nearby towns? Will help them to get home?
I don't think they should be leaving at this time. It's what, 2 in the morning? It's a little dark.
Of course not.
Uh,
Not tonight. They
It
need.
also
They need
depends if the
food.
towns they're from are in the same shape as the fort we left.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point.
Was it just a raid or was it like full blown destruction?
Either way, for now, people
They
should
should
just
sleep.
sleep.
I
I'll see
agree.
about getting them some food tomorrow.
Emerald, you should go to bed. Go sleep. You look like you were done 3 days ago.
Saphira, by the way, is looking pretty tired too. She's starting to get like bags under her eyes and stuff.
I was actually going to say quite a few of y'all are looking rather exhausted.
Yeah, she's gonna go back to the group and let them know they should rest tonight. We will help them get prepared to leave tomorrow if they are able. But everyone in this camp needs rest. Them and us.
I'm gonna go over to there and suggest, as there's 3 carts, it seems you people are from 3 different towns around here. It might be an idea to travel each to your own town after. Hopefully we can figure out some provisions and stuff for you before you go, because it should be a few days' journey.
We appreciate that. We really do, because
What sort of raid was it on your towns? Like, was it like, did they was it like everyone, or did they just take people, or did they just destroy everything, burn everything down? Like, what happened?
these raids are usually quick. They usually target an outside area of the town or village, and as they do, they grab a few people. It's not like they do a full scale attack. They don't have the manpower for that usually, it seems. The guy that is talking, he's like, I myself am from Aerith. Aerith is usually attacked on the outskirt edges. No more than about 10 to 12 individuals. The people that are attacked, they usually grab about 5 or 6, and that's about it. Grab 5 or 6, and then they head out. these raids are common enough that we know of them, but they're not a every week type of thing. It's more of a once a month, once every other month.
That's not what we heard in Easton now. Easton's being attacked quite badly.
Well, that's because Aston's between those villages majority of the time. To get
But if
through, get this.
If they're still getting around and they're still getting your people, it's only a matter of time till they just destroy everything there.
Yeah,
It's
well,
not safe to stay in the as you can see now, it's not safe to stay in the outskirts now.
no. I mean, we would most likely go back, or at least we'd go back to Aerith, and I'd get my family and we'd leave. Head west.
Yes. I agree that's the most likely your best course of action. Thank you for giving us some insight as to what is going on here. Like, none of us are from here. So this is all very new to us, and we found ourselves in the middle of this.
Hey, we greatly appreciate it.
Mhm.
In all honesty, if y'all do find yourselves in Aerith, and a couple of the other individuals are just like, yeah, if you actually find yourselves in these particular villages or towns, we'd be more than welcome to pay respects for just breaking us out of the situation. We'll make sure to leave y'all's names behind.
I
If there's
appreciate that. Thank you. For now, let's get some rest, and we will see how we can get you provisioned up to be able to make your trips home.
Everything's sorted in the morning.
Yes.
For now, sleep.
For now, stay close to the camp here, and stay within the camp. We're going to be keeping watch and make sure that nothing else happens.
There shouldn't be any more coming for about a week, according to what the others said. Well, what the one who's still alive says.
I'm gonna go get our cart and bring it up to the camp.
Yep. And Saphira's gonna go over to Carl, who is still alive.
Now tied to a
And-
dead man.
Yep. If you don't struggle, I will remove you from the dead man, and you will sleep bound, but you will sleep comfortably.
Hey, Lily just falls over just so he just like shows not going to get any sort of fight.
And she will do just that. She will unbind him, let him lay down, and then rebind him in a way that he can lay comfortably. Just like, arms on his chest
Yeah.
or something.
And
I do want to
Cricket-
know who. Oh, sorry.
Cricket is just gonna walk up to all the villagers, and she's just standing
Villagers.
there, just looking at just everything, looking around, silent. Makes small little trills of sad little trills, and walks off to a tree on the edge of the camp and sits down and just stares off into space.
I want to know who's going to take first, second, third, and fourth watch. If anyone is going to take certain sets watch.
I'll take third and fourth.
Do I need to make an animal handling check to get the cart to the camp?
Yes.
Great. It's at disadvantage.
It is.
Because I'm still exhausted. But I'm going to use my boon. I have a d6 of bardic inspiration.
Woo 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 woo.
So, with a +5, that's a 12.
You get the cart there. It's a little bit of a rough ride, but you get it back.
It was not a good roll.
Like you guys
But
hear
that's
the
okay. I
like
made it there.
car's just bouncing up and down, like it's like Emerald's just trying to get it there, and like as like kind of like pulls up, like the car just like just, and the horses are just like, Emerald's just exhausted.
Okay, good night, everyone. See you in the
Good
morning.
night, Admiral.
It's really contagious. You better stop.
Anathil just
Hey.
crawls over, like
I
walks
am
over
in
to the wagon and
character.
crawls inside.
Too bad.
No!
I was just going to suggest that Tanathil also go to.
That dude
Yeah.
doesn't have to be told. He just
Yeah.
goes in and crawls into the wagon.
Y'all didn't know how tired you were until I showed up.
Dad Bard is just exhausted.
How about Tanathil and I take third and fourth watch? Can you, Stalker, and Cricket, handle first and second?
Stalker's willing to stay up a little bit longer.
Okay.
She's still not fully comfortable around Garrick. Fully trusting, I should say. It's visible. She keeps looking at him with suspicious looks and such, but she'll stay up for a little bit longer and keep a first watch.
So
The
Stalker's
last
got
thing
first
Garrick
watch.
sees from Emerald before I go to sleep in the cart is I pop my head out the back and do one of these, and hold up the holy symbol, and do one of these, and go to bed.
He just kind of does a wave. His acknowledgement. So Stalker's got first watch. Who's got second?
I can take second.
And then Fida's got third and fourth.
Yeah.
Okay. So first watch is rather calm. Garrick just sits on the trunk there, the tree that's the log. Takes his time just kind of like looking up at the sky. The night sky, the stars, and the moon. And eventually just kind of like lowers his head and just kind of looks at the ground. You see him carefully just kind of pick up the occasional like insect or beetle that just kind of like comes across the floor and just kind of admires it. Doesn't hurt it. He makes sure he's actually rather careful. And then you see him just kind of keep watch in the woods. Sylphir eventually, as time goes on, actually does warm up to Garrick, as Garrick just kind of pets Sylphir throughout the night. I take it you just kind of continually stare at him there, Stalker.
Not the entire time, but there is a lot of watching him from a distance, letting them have their own time together.
I would say after a while. Oh, God, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say after a while, Garrick would just kind of. I find it rather strange that you trusted me more whenever you didn't know me at all. Yet now, he just kind of like looks at you.
You're mistaken. I had no trust in you when we met. You don't trust anything where I'm from. All the more suspicious when it's someone you know.
No, you weren't as obvious about it then. What's changed?
I know you now.
Yeah, and have I ever hurt you?
You threatened to when we first met. But no.
Yeah, I mean, when someone turns into a werewolf, it's rather startling.
Apparently in these lands, yes.
And they have a bad reputation, what can I say? So do other things.
So I'm
Wouldn't hurt.
beginning to notice.
Yeah, but I wouldn't hurt you then. I won't hurt you now. You don't have to stare.
Hard to break habits. But we'll
Oh,
talk more in the morning. Enjoy your time.
Before you go to bed, because your watch is about to end. Why were you chasing the group?
Trying to find you.
You technically didn't fail. At least one of us didn't.
Nothing's failed until you've stopped trying.
Hence the reason I made the deal. As he says that, Cricket is kind of like starting to like turn over a little bit, waking up a little. So watch, Kevin. Cricket.
And your cricket fell asleep, still sitting.
Stalker, your in comes your watch. I take you make sure Cricket's up and everything.
Yeah.
Okay. As Cricket, you're up, you see Garrick hasn't left the log that you went to sleep. He hasn't left that spot.
Just gonna sit in silence for about 15 minutes or so.
Okay.
Just kind of small glances towards him and around the area. Eventually, the voice cuts through the silence towards Garrick. Can Cricket come closer?
Cricket can come sit. I wouldn't necessarily not mind the company.
Okay.
English is hard. I think I got that right.
Close enough.
Cricket, master of new words. You are fine. She kind of shyly, awkwardly kind of comes forward and, just a little handing of kind of sits across from him, but close by his feet. Cricket, sorry. Very sorry.
He's still just looking down at the ground. For what?
The events, they're terrible. Unfair. All of
Nothing
this,
is.
Cricket is very confused and angry. War, I don't understand much. But Cricket think she is learning. And it make Cricket sad that I learn war. Just a little. Cricket know it much more. Tennant will say so. But Garrick, sad because your path is narrow now. And you can't see full wonder of the rest of your life. You are sunset with no sunrise. Your daughter? Cricket will help search.
I appreciate it.
It is sad. She's gonna put her little bird hand on his knee.
As like you kind of like put your like hand on his knee, you just kind of rest his on yours. His hand is extremely cold to your touch, or to his touch. It's cold. I think you put too much. Death, yeah, to some. It's an end. But I think people make that end a little too, lack of a better word, sad. It's not. It's finally means a resolution to a certain extent.
Cricket not mad at death. It is the end of possibility. You were. You had. Eric. They stole something from you. Many things. You were done wrong. Cricket sad because not much can be done. Deal made. Unknown. Unknown is fine. But unknown come after your end. Unjust. Because you end still in pain. Not resolve. That what Cricket mad.
You just quiet, staring at the ground.
Cricket remember many things. Unfortunately, when Cricket wished to not remember, maybe Curse of Kenku may remember everything. But Cricket remember many happy things. Cricket can share a happy story with many others. Happy story of Garrick.
Kinda.
So tell me your story before too late. And sunset go away.
I will one day. Before it's too late. As he says this, I would say Fida and Tenethil are both waking up for their watch. Cricket, you hear them waking up at this point, I would say.
Well, sunsets are Cricket's favorite. Very pretty.
I will admit I was more keen to sunrises, I will admit. Start of a new day. As he says this, like, start of a new day. Yes. As he says this, Fida and Tenethil are both wide awake, getting ready to kind of take over the watch. He's kind of like,
Emerald is very loudly snoring this entire evening.
I love it.
not surprised.
Just for the record.
For the record.
He's just gonna take his hand and put his hand in big fluff of the crown of feathers. Cricket, remember, when you ready, I share story. And she's gonna go off and go wake up. Fida.
Oh. Fully wake up Fida and Tenethil. As they were like they were kind of like beginning to like kind of like roll over and wake up, and you just kind of like woke them up even more.
Yeah, I take my elbow feathers and I just like gently tickle her nose.
Just get the instant sudden urge
What-
to like.
wait. So I'll start getting up. And
Oh my god.
oh no.
God!
Emerald, you
no.
did this. You and Tanithil. You're both at fault
Are
for
you
that.
loud with that, by the way, or no?
I'm sorry,
No.
I can't hear you.
Get him a
Out.
freaking CPAP machine. Jesus
I
Christ.
have to ask, are you loud with that like blaring horn there, Cricket?
No, that was just a joke. No, I'll get him up with the
Okay.
feathers. One day. But there's other people sleeping. There's
Eventually.
villagers. I'm not gonna do that. Yet.
Yeah, that's true.
So, Fida,
So
Tenethil.
I'll get up and head out of the wagon that crashed in and take a look around, do kind of a lap around the campsite, see what is going on, make sure everyone's like asleep, everything's all right.
Okay. I'm just picturing everybody like just piled up into this wagon, like just kind of like curled up with one another, just falling asleep.
I didn't make it off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just sprawled out on the bench in the front of the wagon.
Part of it is I'm gonna see if there's like a blanket or something. I'm gonna go and put it like on Emerald.
You do find a blanket that you can just kind of like put on Emerald. As you're kind of like checking the perimeter of the camp, you just notice that Garrick doesn't move from the log that he's been sitting on for hours. Silver at this point is just kind of like laid on his side, just kind of panting, just enjoying being petted by him, by Garrick. As kind of like you listen out in the distance, you don't hear anything that's abnormal. People are sound asleep.
Perfect. I'm going to go over to the log that Garrick is sitting on. And I'm assuming he's sitting at like one side of it.
Yeah.
Or okay. I'm gonna go sit like further down the log from him, facing the opposite direction of him, and say, For what it's worth, it is good to see you.
Same. Did Tanithil keep eating the eggs?
Absolutely. And I don't think anything will ever stop that.
Probably not. But it's gonna be nice keeping him guessing on why.
I'll admit you have us all curious about that. You're not the only one who has said anything about it now.
At this, but I don't think people quite realize it's just more of an inside joke amongst the people in the Ashland Kingdom.
That's
It all
what
stems.
that's what we've heard. That something about an elf or something like that with eggs. What is the story?
As far as I know, it was just a story of an elf that's essentially was given a choke egg at an event in Landcrest, and it basically caused a bit of an uproar in the gathering hall, and it was quite a spectacle.
What sort of uproar? We might have to carry on this.
From what I know, they couldn't use the hall for a week. Exactly what, I'm not sure, but as far as I know, it was never confirmed that the egg actually, how should we say, you could almost consider it a curse. It was never considered foul play. It was more just an egg, and we just made jokes that
Why would you
elves
do
couldn't.
that?
It was just elves couldn't eat eggs, but that's not the case. They can eat them. It's just funny.
Can I roll perception for Tanithil to hear this?
And that would have been like on the other end of the camp, just kind of like chilling. But yeah, sure. If you want to roll perception for that, yeah.
I feel like at the mention of eggs, Tanithil would be like, "Oh, really?"
I want to know.
It's like a dog when you say the
Egg?
word treat, his ears just perk up.
Right?
Okay,
Dog with the word
Tanithil,
walk.
What do you?
I got you, buddy. We're gonna find out why you can't eat
What's
eggs.
perception?
We got a +5.
Pretty good.
For a total of 7.
He's so
Awesome.
clueless.
How fitting!
That's so fair.
What happened?
History continue. I love it.
Oh,
it
well,
gets to continue.
let the record show I tried, buddy. I'm gonna go back to sleeping now. We have received a party boon. DM, please roll us a d20.
I will roll it in roll 20. How fitting.
Do it up.
I love when
I rolled 11.
Okay, we have a +1 to attack rolls for the next 1d4 turns. So give us a d4 roll.
Woo.
D4, and you roll another D10 there, Otter.
Why do I roll a d10?
Does this mean Garrick has been logging all evening?
um,
Add that to the pun damage counter.
that is a 10. Otter
the
took
D4 was
10
4, by the way.
points. 4.
Of pun
Okay.
damage. Of pun damage, not actual damage, just pun damage.
Yep. Not real
You
damage.
just like go unconscious from
But
damage from the beyond.
People don't even take damage from it anymore. It's just a counter at this point, just to
It's
see
just a
how many
counter.
times
It's
by
gonna
the
be a
end of the
contest. Who
campaign.
has the most damage? I.
who has yeah. By the end of the
who has
It's a
campaign.
contest.
Right. It's a contest.
I mean, challenge accepted.
Accepted or accepted?
As
Let me ask you a question.
as
So,
he says that, he just kind of he does a quick laugh and a smirk, and you see almost a bit of life before his face just kind of goes back to being solemn and just staring at the ground.
So, It's interesting. Not being the only one who has made a deal for sake of family and trying to save oneself. I don't know how to tell you this, but when we found your things in Fort Rylock, your amulet was there. When I touched it, I saw what happened.
Then you're one of very few. And when I say few, I just mean myself.
Mm-hmm. For that, I do understand why you are doing what you have done.
I'm down
I
to
would-
just sing. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I would like to offer my help in finding what happened to your daughter.
I only have to find Kate and Kursk at this point.
Yes, that is your motivation. Do you know if she lives?
If what I was told before I died
Mm-hmm.
is actually true, then yes, she is dead.
All right.
Like I said, this is nothing but just revenge at this point.
Well, understandable. I know you did not
Kinda.
trust me early on with the deal that I had made originally.
See him just kind of like messing with his wrist and everything, like as he's talking.
Mm,
You want to roll a perception?
I sure do. That
Yeah,
is-
darn tootin' sure do.
No, I don't.
No.
Perception is +6. That is a dirty 20.
Like as like he's just kind of like messing with the bracers and everything, you do see it like they kind of shift just a little, and you can see what appears to be binding marks on the wrists. It's very brief. It's just a couple of seconds before the bracers will pull back up.
You're bound to your deal, aren't you?
Hmm?
You're bound to your deal, aren't you?
Yes. By the way, when I refer to bound marks, I'm not talking about like symbol
Oh, you mean
marks.
from
I'm
the
talking,
like
yeah,
from the
from like
ropes?
right
Okay, from the ropes.
there. No, not from you guys.
Oh,
Not from yeah.
how long did you live after they had, well, clearly slit your throat?
I didn't live for very long. Day at the most. It's just the torture that they done was, how should I say, rather intense,
Mm-hmm.
excruciating.
And it was 3 people in particular. You've killed 2 of them now.
It was 3. That in particular. There was more than just that.
What the one said was that there were 3 groups that are wandering the countryside here.
Yeah, I was able to track down one.
Did
As
any
well as
live from it? Or did you just take out your target?
I made sure that Ashland soldiers were able to intercept them, and as they were intercepting them, I took out my target.
All right. Is your last target in the 3rd group?
No, mine is actually It's strange, actually. That urge to complete the task that I've asked for, the
Mhm.
deal, it, how should I say, also pulls me in that direction of the person.
Okay. It's seeking to complete it.
Correct. It's pulling me currently towards Dawn Vault, even though I know they're not there per se.
Would they be beyond it?
Entirely plausible. Usually, the urge to go to a location usually gives me an aid, a clue to get to the next. Eventually, everything has a means.
Not for
It's not
now,
just
just basically acting like a compass, if you will.
to a certain extent.
Okay. I know
I
some of these
will.
people here want to go, are trying to get back. I believe some of them were from Dawnveld. There's some towns around here.
If any of them, and he just kind of like looking around, he's like, if any of them is from Dawn Vault, I'll be surprised. I have tracked the group.
Okay.
They don't just target large towns for any particular reason. If they target a large town, they're after a particular person. They don't just hit it to grab a few people and leave.
Perhaps you could shed
It,
some insight as to why they took out Fort Rylock the way that they did.
I was there actually for the attack.
Yes.
I showed up just a
We,
few moments beforehand.
Hanathil saw up until the moment before you
That's nice
were
and
cut.
somewhat comforting. I'd rather not talk about that.
Understood. Do you know what they were there for?
If I told you the reason, you'd probably be somewhat. You probably wouldn't believe it.
You know, Garrick, try me. I made a deal with a lesser god to try and save my family and caused all sorts of chaos as a consequence of it. I would not be surprised at this point.
They only attacked Fort Rylock for the bodies. There's no significance to Fort Rylock, minus the fact that it's no longer now a stronghold that Ashland Kingdom has a hold of.
It's an undead
It,
army. They're building an undead army.
from what I'm gathering,
They attacked Aston with undead, and the undead were trying to drag people back across the river.
well, they're succeeding. They got a few thousand from Fort Rylock.
That's what it looked like. We found the roster of the numbers of people there.
Yeah, I actually got to see Caden Curse before my death.
Mm-hmm.
He actually told me exactly what they were doing. They were there to just help transport or traffic the individuals back across the river.
Do you know if that is what they are doing with these people? Like the ones that were in those carts here?
That is exactly what they're doing with those people.
Okay. That answered a few questions I had. Do you have
So,
any idea why?
no. I didn't get that information from Caden Kursk. I did get to see an individual, though. One of
Oh.
rather, I'm guessing, importance.
Mm-hmm.
About 6 foot. Black hair with. He was clean shaven. He wore robes, arcane robes. They were silver, a dark purple. It was pretty hard to distinguish a little bit. And black. He had a staff. The staff at the top was green. It had an aura to it that shimmered as it moved. Not all the bodies that were dragged away from Fort Rylock were dragged away via aid. He was able to actually control a few of them before they left. I'd say a few dozen easily. He took time to make sure that they were... that he was able to kind of bring them back, resurrect to a certain extent, or just animate, be the proper word. And then he controlled them to go back across the river. This individual, I have no idea who he was. He showed up. I was at this point bound as one of the few that survived. He took them back across, and then that's when Kate and Kursk and a few of the others done their work. As like he's saying this, I do want to point out the sun is beginning to rise.
The sun will come out tomorrow.
If you, oh my god.
No, it's coming out today.
You bet your bottom
But
dog was it?
the sun is beginning to
dog.
the sun is beginning to rise, and as it does, I would say, Emerald, you're beginning to wake up.
I'm just imagining Cricket trying to remember this song and just
Same.
inserting random words to spots where there's
Right.
a lull.
Same with Stalker and Cricket. You guys are also beginning to wake up.
Bet your bottom dingo tomorrow.
And before we continue, we're going to take a 10-minute break. We'll be back in a little bit with more Varinheim. we're back with more Varinheim. Anyway, that being said, it's morning, and apparently from the sound of this audio, it's raining. But no, it's the sun has risen. You can hear birds off in the distance. Slight breeze, not heavy, is kind of coming through the forest. Sweet smell kind of just wafts through the air. As Stalker, Cricket, Emerald begin to wake up, Garrick just kind of like looks off in the distance towards them and then just kind of is like, it seems like everyone's waking up. About time. He kind of gets up and kind of stretches a little bit. He's like kind of prevent from getting stiff.
Understandable.
He just try not to laugh.
Rigor mortis is real, yo.
Do this.
Some people
Begin-
wouldn't complain about that.
But as you guys kind of wake up, Garrick just kind of looks at y'all and he's like, I'm headed to Dawn Vault. If y'all wish to help, I wouldn't mind it.
Let's get these people situated before anything else, Garrick. Won't take too long.
There's 3 carts, there's 3 different directions they need to go. Let's get them equipped so that they have food and enough provisions to get there safely, and then I will go with you. I do not like that there's still another one of these raiding bands around, and they need to be stopped.
Agreed.
As you say this, Garrick just kind of like turns and looks at the group. He's like, I'll be back. I will help with the provision aspect. And he just kind of wanders off into the woods.
Thank you. I'm gonna go over to one of the carts and see what it is we have to work with. Start trying to talk to people, figure out where they each need to go and how we're gonna kind of organize this, and let everyone
There's-
have like their breakfast and all that fun stuff.
There's 35 people. 10 need to go to Aerith, 10 need to go to Stonewall, and the other 15 need to go to Timber Ward.
You, Cricket, need to make map. Copy of map.
Well, the couple of the people that y'all have kind of split up, they go, we know the area. We can get ourselves back.
Okay.
While we're here, I'm gonna pull up the map and get them to show me where it is that we are on the map, and to try and start figuring out like the fastest, easiest way to get to Dawn Vault, and start talking with them about figuring out the how to get there.
So they point out that you guys are like in this general area. I've moved the map on Roll20, by the way.
Yep.
So they point that you're in that general area. They basically point that the path that you guys are on actually heads straight towards Dawn Vault.
Yep.
They mentioned that it's about a 3 days ride. From y'all's location currently. It's about 3 days.
Is there a direct path for the people from Stonewall to go, or do they have to actually go through Aston or Dawn Vault?
They can actually just cut across the countryside.
Okay, so it's fairly open plains.
Yeah, it's fairly open plains. Timber Ward is literally a day and a half, 2 days at the most from them.
This Aerith
Mhm.
is far.
Aerith is pretty far. Aerith is like a week.
To the people who are going to Aerith, I'm going to suggest that they actually travel with the people who are going to Stonewall, stop in Stonewall, and then go north from Stonewall over to Aerith.
They just kind of, we kind of figured on doing that since Stonewall and Earth usually work together in certain aspects. When it comes to like, we support them, they support us in certain aspects of like timber or agricultural means. Sometimes we'll send guards over there to help them, or they'll send guards over to help us. It's a back and forth system. Usually, we rely also on Isatol to provide that, which is the major city to the west.
Yes, that's where we were headed. We wanted to go and see the library there. There's a few things we were looking to research.
I won't be of much help of research. I hate to say it. I'm a farmer in Stonewall.
That's fine. Word should be sent to Isatol and Aston about what has happened here and what is happening with, like, with the smaller towns here, like Timberward, Stonewall, Aerith. They should know what is going on.
And they'll just kind of like hold, kind of just has as familiar. It's just like, I can send a note to Aston.
Agreed. I'll get to writing one out for them just to give them an update on what is going on down here.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave out all the Garrick stuff, just update about the towns and a group of the raiders was stopped.
Okay. Y'all do have enough horses, by the way, for the 3 carts, 3 wagons that y'all have got. The wagons are large enough that if everyone just kind of like sits, I wouldn't say uncomfortably, but in a rather tight space, uh, they should be able to all fit. If not, a couple can walk. So there is that. Garrett, I would say it takes you guys a couple of hours to, how should I say, get everything in order when it comes to the wagons, finding stuff out, the horses getting pulled in, make sure they're good, getting that note, that letter written for Aston.
Arming those
And
that are fit enough to wield something
there's a
with
few.
what is in the camp,
Yeah, there's a few.
but not a lot.
Most of them look very just tired, even after resting all night, and just not in any physical shape due to how long they've gone without food, at least a week. Um, I know that after a couple of hours, Garrett kind of like is returning, and Silver actually went with him, and Silver's kind of got. You can see that Garrett took like a piece of rope and just kind of like hung it over Silver and tied, and you see just a bunch of like small game attached, like rabbits, squirrels, uh, and other things, just kind of like straight across Silver's back as Silver's coming back in. There's enough to feed about 20 people for 2 days at most. It's not a whole lot, but you could stretch it.
I mean, we'll also collect what rations they had. I know there was only like 8 mercenaries that they had rations for.
Yeah,
but
they had enough rations to last a couple more days.
yeah,
So
spread it out among the people because we've got our own stuff. We don't need it.
one of the individuals, the guy that's y'all been talking to, that's heading towards Stone, was like, in all honesty, if we can just get the group that's going to air at the Stonewall, they can stay there for a couple of days, and we can go from there.
Yeah, it's just a
Travel
matter
together.
of having enough to get to there. So I'm gonna actually donate 5 of my rations that I have to the cause here.
Okay. I'm pretty sure that the Iron Inn will be willing to just put them up in a room and feed them for a couple of days, let them get their strength back, And if anything, I have a farm there myself that I can. You just see him just kind of like pause. He's just like, I may have a farm. I'm gone. I can't actually entirely provide anything until I get back.
That's why I'm giving you these.
I didn't think about that.
Zafira will donate the same, another 5.
Me as well.
She doesn't use them very much anyway. She usually hunts.
I hope birdseed will help you. Here you go.
It's greatly appreciative. Appreciate it.
Handfuls of seeds.
Just handful of seeds.
They can
The
use
amount of
it
ration-
to lure in other things that are bigger.
I'm almost picturing like one of those like hanging bird feeder things where it's just all of
Yeah.
the seeds stuck on like a ball.
Right.
Each ration is another individual one.
My crunchy roll of birdseed. Here you go. It has a lot of crunch.
As
Okay.
like they're kind of doing this, Garrick does. Garrick like comes back from the forest and it's just like I was able. Like, I'm pretty sure you saw what I brought with Silphair.
Yeah.
Guy
That all
from
helps.
Stonewall.
Thank you.
Guy from Stonewall, because this should be enough to get us there with these comfortably. People from Timberwood just need like a couple of days of food. They're good.
Okay, so I go about writing that note while we're doing that and attach it to Fowl's leg, and I'm sure Tanithil then sends off the bird.
Yep. Until sends off the bird. I would say it's like only a couple hours of flight time away, so it's not like it's very far.
Be back probably by nightfall at latest.
Hell, way before then. But yeah.
Are there any barrels around?
I'd say there's a couple, yeah.
I'm gonna
Full of
gather
water.
they are already full of water.
Yeah, I'd say that one's halfway and the other one's full.
Okay, just making sure they have enough to get them through their travels.
Yeah, rationed, but yeah, it does. There's enough.
Okay. Then never mind.
Eric just kind of, like, after making sure like everything's good, he just kind of goes and sits over on the log that you're sitting on for the night.
Does your butt hurt? You sat there all night.
He takes out an arrow from his quiver and then just kind of like sticks it into his hand and just digs it and then pulls it back out. He's like, I feel no pain. And then just puts it back in the quiver.
That is not actually good.
It does have a benefit.
No. I'm glad your butt doesn't hurt.
I'm just happy I don't feel thorns.
Take it from first-hand experience. Don't always trust when you can't feel the pain. It may be worse
You won't
not
know
knowing
if you
how
are
bad
being...
you are.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, shockingly enough, it's not that I can't feel the pain. It's more just I feel something press. I just don't feel the excruciating pain. It's just I more feel something touch. It's a really weird sensation.
You can feel it, but there's no pain.
Yeah, it's strange.
Numb.
Kind of.
Just beware of when you feel things.
That being said, what are y'all doing?
Well, I'm going to see the cards
After-
off and get them on their way, and then we should go. There's no point in lingering here. We should take our friend here and back to Lundvold with us. Or Lundvold.
While they are seeing the people off, Saphira is not. She is just kind of standing over the body of Gerard and staring at him.
I think Carl was the other guy. He's, by the way, still like laying next to him. He's like, I'd like to be able to move if possible.
I'll leave it up to the others what to do with you.
Your
Give them
hands
a
will
bit.
remain bound, for sure. Try to run, and we'll send Stalker here after you. Happily.
Cricket's gonna walk
I
next to Saphira and look down at Rod as well.
You guys think I went too far with him?
I'm the one that killed him.
Yeah, but he was gonna die anyway. I
Well, he
wasn't
could
gonna
have
kill
been-
him.
You may
I
have
was.
escalated things rather swiftly.
You were angry.
I
She's
was.
gonna gently touch Saphira's forearm.
I've never been that angry. I don't know why I'm so angry lately. How to deal with it. I'd already seen it in my head. I was going to cut off every piece of him bit by bit.
I would not have let it gone that far.
Mm-hmm.
I've
I can't know why you're so angry.
Are you getting enough fiber?
Yes, that's what Cricket go say. No.
Have
Maybe I
a
should
have an
save
oat
birdseed?
bar from Dad.
Birdseed?
I'm not very hungry at the moment, Cricket. Thanks.
Dad bar?
All right, I'll take the seat.
Did you say
Regarding
Dad
Carl-
bar?
Yeah.
It was
Dad
Dad Bar.
bar?
Regarding Carl, I'm going to sit him up, going to unbind his feet, and keeping his hands bound, I am going to give him some of a ration so that he can eat some.
as like he's eating, like just kind of like I would naturally suspect like he's like kind of like his hands are bound like this.
Down the
and then
way.
he's just
I'm
kinda,
assuming like this, and I'm just kind of like sticking food in there. So
yeah, he's just kind of like nibbling on stuff.
Cricket's going to kneel down again and have Gerald. Gerard.
Jared.
Gerard.
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 I spelled it weird, whereas I can either say Gerald or I don't. Laying flat, and then I position his hands and resting, and I kneel and put my forehead on his again, and just there in a moment of silence for about a minute.
I've always been okay with death. If people have the capability to defend themselves, then it's on them if they die. But
This is
Ye-
unjust. It is slaughter.
it's why I'm always working on my endurance, making myself tougher. to protect those who need protecting, not those who can already do it.
But who do you limit into protecting? Only one side or protect both?
It always depends on the situation.
I think these people, she's gonna gently put the hand on the guy's forehead, need protecting as well. Before they get too far gone. Cricket wish she can understand.
What they need protecting from is far from here, and appears to be insidious within their entire culture.
Silly Cricket. Want to go there someday.
Saphira motions to Garrick and to Cricket and anyone else who's not in arm's reach to come closer.
I cannot come closer. You are 8 feet tall. You come close.
Yeah.
You come down.
Walks over to
Emerald short.
Cricket and then
Look,
motions
look.
everyone else to come towards her.
Crickets squat down emerald level. A level?
And then, in a real quick and awkward motion, wraps up the whole group as best she can in a big old bear hug. Not a heavy one, not a true bear hug, because there's a lot of people in this, and that would hurt a lot of people.
Roll a strength check.
Oh no.
By the way, Garrick is just sitting on a log.
It's a 12.
I would say, like, as like you kind of like go pick up everyone. Is there anyone here that does not like being picked up?
I
There's no
rolled.
lifting them. There's too many people. That'd be too awkward.
I
People
don't
would
think she's
collapse.
picking them up. I think
I
she's just
got
It's
Kind of
just
wrap
a
them
hug.
Yeah.
I
arms
felt like
around-
she was like grabbing to like kind of like
No.
No.
That's why I was like, she's
Oh.
not gonna try and actually like
Arms
bear
aren't
hug
long
because
enough.
it's
I was
gonna
gonna
crush
say,
people.
like as like she picks people up, like it's just like one just kind of goes no, dead weight.
I am.
No, she just kind of.
I'm all up in
awkwardly.
everyone's business from this angle, so I'm gonna try and like duck.
She's just trying. It's very
Um,
awkward because she's trying to hug people of all different heights who are all shorter than her.
I'm just gonna say that's an acrobatics of 16 to just kind of like.
I would say Emerald, like if you don't want to be grabbed, you don't get grabbed.
I'm just
too
gonna
short.
kind of like sidestep it and like pat.
Cricket's gonna hold Emerald's hand while
I
she's
will
being
accept.
hugged. And she's just hugging the hell out of everybody else.
Hannafil
And-
just gives an egg to Saphira.
She just holds it for a moment. Her eyes are closed. She doesn't see you dodging it.
And I'm sorry, I may have been really tired yesterday. Are we calling you a different name than Stalker now?
I was about to get to that actually.
I thought you said that already.
Only
to cricket.
Oh,
I've
During
heard it
that
come
one
from.
watch.
I have heard it come from Cricket today twice, and I was just like,
Yeah. She also said it when she said song the other episode. She
was a
meant
mistake.
Saphira. It was habit from
The last campaign,
while,
the last
yeah.
one was song.
because
and then
nobody
Saphira.
knows song yet.
I got it mixed up.
I beg to differ.
You say to a bard, nobody knows song.
I'm offended.
But she pulls back. I mentioned before, Garrick, you weren't around for this. You had already headed off to Aston, but Stalker is like a nickname. Where I'm from, You don't give out your names easily because it's dangerous. People can use that in magical ways.
Hmm.
And the Aowen Woods is very chaotic. There are fairies, there are uh, walking plants that try to eat people. Um,
What?
there are so many things. It's very different from here, but it's very dangerous. Sometimes more than here, sometimes not. My tribe, everyone has their own nickname that we give out instead. Stalker is mine. I mentioned this to Cricket, but my name is Saphira. And I don't know. I left home in a very sudden and uncertain circumstance. The hell, this tale is new, she says, moving it awkwardly.
Hmm.
I'm still not used to it, but you've all become kind of a second family. I don't know if my family is still alive or not, and thank you, all of you.
You're welcome. We take care of each other. No.
Kind of wrap around her an arm around Stalker, kind of like complete the hug, or Saphira.
Stakira.
Stalkira!
Garrick just kind of like gets up and he's just like, well, it's nice to technically fully meet you.
And my name
Likewise.
is not actually Cricket. It is actually
Bless you.
He just kind of gives a grin.
that is my real name.
I hate to be that person, but I do need to head out.
I agree we should get going.
Well,
We've
it is.
dawdled enough time. We've dawdled and spent enough time here. There's a long way to go to get to Dawnfall.
Well, it's good to, I guess, officially meet you both under your true names. I hope you won't hold it against me. Cricket is a whole lot easier to say.
None taken. Only other Kenku and a handful others can't actually say my name. But Cricket is what I am called for many. I'd rather others be able to acknowledge me easily than not at all.
I'm gonna go and finish cleaning up the campsite and get ourselves like all packed up while the rest of the conversation's happening.
Well, hop on up, Garrick, and we'll get going.
As like you guys kind of like getting in the cart and everything and heading off. Like Garrick is just kind of just like, I'm happy that I get y'all's assistance. I will admit.
We are happy to have you back in some way.
Nice. And he just kind of sits in the cart, and Tantha also kind of like joins in as well.
I'm gonna go to the cart. I'm going to just get myself comfortable in there, and I'm gonna pull out some like a notebook and start drawing the staff that Garrick had been describing, and I'm going to get him to look at it and see like what it like try to get a likeness of it. Um, draw on there, and then like if there were any symbols or anything on the robes, try to get like the likeness of them as well.
Oh, that's great.
I think you froze on Zoom.
He did.
Trail
He did.
is permanently surprised.
Uh-oh.
Ah,
And you're back.
I'm back.
Welcome
Aw.
back.
You were just like wide-eyed at the camera, just like,
I literally
Nothing
went.
I said was that weird.
I didn't actually hear anything you said. I was just like,
Oh, good times. So I'm
Oh.
going to hop in the cart, get myself all comfortable in there, and pull out a notebook and draw the staff like from the description that Garrett gave me and like the robes. And I'm gonna get him to look at it, and we're gonna get like the likeness of it drawn there so that I have it as a reference point.
okay. He gives you a pretty decent how should I say description of the staff and everything. And like I was saying, it was like a green emerald that shimmers on the top. It's green and black actually, more than anything. The staff is black, and the markings that he kind of like talks about is of um infernal with a bit of necromancy when it comes to magic inscription, kind of like down it. It's the staff itself is about 7 feet in length.
With the infernal inscriptions, can I read any of the ones that he describes?
I would say that the inscription that he gives, it basically talks about um the control of the undead, and from what you gather, the writing is old, incredibly old. The only reason that you're able to tell that it's infernal is because it shares similar markings. Um, and that's the only reason like you're able to can tell like, okay, this part's undead, but full on what it says, that is hard to decipher.
Okay, because I still have that book that is in Old Infernal as well that I've been
Oh.
going through as well.
Okay, if that's the case, I forgot about that book actually.
Yep.
Yeah, you would actually kind of piece together things. The book from Old Infernal, it gives lessons from like over 2,000 years ago. And even those markings don't entirely add up. It's entirely plausible that the markings he's indicating is even older. But the book markings gives you enough that it basically, the staff itself, from what you can gather, allows the user to control as many undead as they can basically animate.
Mm.
That's disturbing.
We gotta hydrate, by the way.
Yeah, hydrate.
We already did. It's
Yeah,
just
we
you.
did.
Now watch
Oh.
him
We didn't want to
drink.
interrupt you.
My bad.
Watch him
no
Um,
drink.
worries. You were describing a thing. We didn't want to disturb you, but
Yeah.
we're all just gonna sit here and stare at you while you drink now. Okay.
While Fida and Eric are doing that,
Said, what am I doing?
she's- yeah. Saphir is going to take off his amulet that's been kind of under the fur around her shoulders and such, and hold it out to him. Garrick, we all saw what was in this. I don't know if you want it back now that your time is limited, or
I can't even see it. So, you may keep it.
all right. Put it back on.
You just kind of... Yeah. Just... I tell you guys are in the car, correct?
Yeah. With Carl.
Yeah.
Yep, who's in there? He gets to sit quietly.
He's
I'm
sitting up in the
driving.
corner.
This has to be
Carl?
so awkward for him.
Have you heard
Oh.
of the Aowen Woods?
Who? Who'd you ask that, by the way, of?
Carl.
Carl.
I think so.
Immediate look from Saphira.
Okay.
You have?
Yeah, like, if I'm not mistaken, isn't that, like, outside of Aston?
Nope. Can't be the right one.
He looks really honestly confused. Like, he doesn't actually know what he's talking about.
Saphira's like, no, that's definitely not. He's got the wrong name. Or the wrong place.
26 insight from the front of the cart while I drive.
Yeah, he's completely just doesn't know what he's talking about. He's confused on locations.
Seems like he knows what he's talking about.
God.
Inside checked Emerald. He's like,
Roll inside.
You know what? Same. Fuck it.
I have to roll
Roll
deception.
Yeah.
I'm rolling as well. I believe him fully.
Oh,
I believe
my
him,
God.
roll with my nat
27
one.
insight.
You know,
It's a 16.
Cricket's the only one who knows I'm lying.
Yeah.
That was a 21 total.
Now Saphira's just confused because she's like, there is nothing anywhere we've been that looks anything like home.
Right? He's like,
Saphira,
what?
you really think if it was outside of where we just were, we wouldn't have heard of it? He doesn't know what you're talking about.
Well, yeah, the sun here, it doesn't get as dark as it did last night where I'm from. It doesn't get as bright as it is right now.
That
Of
is
course he
really cool.
doesn't know.
I am sorry to confuse Carl. I am also sorry for killing your friend. But he had to die. I am glad you survived.
I'm just happy to be here at this point.
Me too.
And he just kind of like just sinks lower in his thing, in the spot that he's in.
So
I hope you make better choices in future. You
Will
have a
do.
second chance. Be
So
glad.
with that, I'm gonna
Is-
start up a conversation with Carl. Just we don't have
Is
to go through the whole
Cricket
thing.
adopting a bandit?
I have no idea, but Garrick literally just goes, if it weren't for the fact that I cannot actually harm him, he'd be dead right now.
You
And then just turns and looks away.
So I'm gonna be talking with Carl and finding out all sorts of stuff about the Colvin Kingdom that I can, like what life is like there and everything. Why these choices are made, and just like the
Pop
So
whole
quiz about
getting
where
to
you're
know a
from.
person
Go.
conversation, yeah, the whole getting to know a person conversation and try and figure out.
We're playing 20 questions.
history time,
Yes.
guys.
But you're the
So-
only one that's
See?
actually playing 20 questions.
Carl
This
just
is the shittiest pop quiz ever for someone.
Carl just begins talking about life at the Colvin Kingdom. It's a rather brutal place when it comes to resources. They're not plentiful like they are here in Ashland. Like timber ore, yeah, that's we have. We exported a ton to other kingdoms, but agriculture is scarce due to the wastelands to the northeast. We actually rely a lot on magical means to sustain people in the Colvin Kingdom. It's magic in the Ashland Kingdom is not necessarily a necessity, it's a luxury. For us, it is a necessity. We have to learn it to a certain degree. It's mages there are a dime a dozen to a certain extent. The level of which that they learn, now that's a different story. When it comes to the the kingdom itself and the structure of society, there's quite a few towns and villages that are pretty lawless. Say fend for yourself type of place. But the major cities, that's a different story. It's authoritarian landscape. Kuro, the city that's just across the river. Everyone there is made to be a soldier. You do everything for the Kolvik military in protecting the border. Unlike Varin, or unlike the Ashland Kingdom where they worship Varin, we honestly we worship the god of hunt and the god of hunt and war. Which, if I'm not mistaken, y'all actually know who that is, which is I do believe Vakar. So we worship Vakar over in our lands. That's been our way for decades, centuries.
In what regard do you worship him? Well, what aspects of him?
We worship the fact that he still makes our soldiers stronger than usually others when it comes to capabilities of fighting. If it weren't for the fact that we just can't provide for ourselves to the fullest extent, the Ashland Kingdom would be nothing. We've got more mages, more soldiers, our weapons are more advanced, despite the fact that we lack resources. We've had to think beyond normal means to survive.
A bit of both. War and hunt.
Why is Kolvik waste land? What mean that?
That's how should I say,
Desert?
that is left to be discovered.
Cursed?
It's a cursed land, the wasteland says.
Oh. How long cursed? Always?
Always.
Well, I get curious of history of Kolvik. Why cursed? But Ashlyn not cursed.
We don't know.
Why barrier? Unbalanced. Cricket, say this.
All we know is that the individual that is launching the raids against Aston is the most I can tell you is they're more interested in Aston, not to get across the border, but just of Aston itself.
To deface.
Who is interested in Aston? Who is this person?
I don't know, honestly. I'm not high enough up on the food chain to know that.
Do the people at your level of the food chain hold the same desires? Do you all really care about attacking, or is it just because you need to make a living?
Need a living. Quite a few people honestly leave Kolvik and go to another kingdom. Usually the Lemurian Empire. If they can leave. It's kind of a we do enough jobs to make it where we can leave. And once you leave, you don't come back.
So in some ways, you almost earn your freedom.
To a certain extent.
How long did this conflict?
Between the Kolvik Kingdom and the Ashlands,
Hmm.
since the birth of the Ashland Kingdom. The Ashland Kingdom was formed from parts of the Lemurian Empire, same was Kolvik. The only reason the Kolvik Kingdom even exists is because it's separated from the Lemurian Empire due to Ashland. The only reason that the Kolvik Kingdom doesn't actually do a full-on invasion and incursion on this land is because the Lionel Republic essentially guarantees Ashland's survival. Tanthil, by the way, is just kind of like grinning and just kind of like, yeah, he's right.
Why not? Create bond. Trades. Ashland has
Because
thing
nothing.
Kolvik not,
Because
and Kolvik had thing Ashland not.
the only thing the Kolvik Kingdom wants is to be reunited with the Lemurian Empire, which is to the far west.
And when you say the
Ashland's
kingdom, you mean
Like-
the people in charge.
People in charge and the people itself. They do want that. Because if they
Ashland-
reunited with if they reunited with the Lemurian Empire, struggle would no longer be a thing.
Why Ashland not let?
Ashland cares about its independence. It originally was never actually a part of the Lemurian Empire. At least that's what I know.
Why can't they be independent and still...
Let Kolvik.
Because
I-
politics are dumb.
Politics are.
Politics are dumb.
Oh God. By the way, I would say like this conversation goes for a while. It's hours.
I worded
of
that
y'all
just
talking.
for you, Cricket.
So I would
That
say
was
you
the
guys
goal with my question.
So I would say you guys travel for about 6 to 8 hours, and like it's just a constant talk about like the Kolvik society and how they survive, the back history to a certain extent. He gives y'all a decent amount. You can tell that he does know his stuff quite a bit, but he can't go into full on detail on certain things, like why exactly the Ashland Kingdom won't rejoin the Lemurian Empire, or why it wants to just maintain its independence. Uh, he also can't like go into complete detail as to why like the Lionel Republic also is kind of steadfast on defending the Ashland Kingdom.
He's not a scholar.
Right. He just knows enough from what has been said. But I would say it's getting around 7 o'clock, 5 to 7 in the evening at this point.
Carl, you hungry?
I could eat.
I'll go get us some food.
Oh.
Or,
Eric
I mean,
just
feel free, Cricket. I figured we could all use
No,
something
no.
fresh.
Garrett just kind of pipes up. He's like, "Are we stopping for the evening? I take it."
Soon. I'm gonna feed my chicken. I get some seed.
Emerald, I take you're gonna try and find a spot to park the cart.
Sure.
Yes, let me feed my chicken.
As as you feed your chicken, Emerald, you park the cart. Like Garrick automatically gets out and he goes kind of like hunting for food really quick for you guys. He just kind of like turns. He's like, "I'll be back in a little bit." And he just kind of goes off.
Saphir goes with him. Or,
Okay, roll
I mean, they might go separate
roll
areas,
survival.
but yeah.
Yeah. Tanthil does the same.
Um,
Tanithil's helping hunt.
No,
What?
like my bad. Apologize. Tanthil, like when I say same, I meant to be like, hold it. When I meant same, like he's actually like getting out and setting up like camp for you guys, like
Yeah,
getting
that's
like
what
campfire
I'm going to be
He's
doing is
helping.
setting up camp.
Okay.
in, like,
Okay.
I was
'Cause
kind of wondering.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, that survival check, I rolled it when you said it. This boy doesn't hunt.
Lost.
He got an 8,
He can survive in a library just fine.
right?
which isn't bad. He has a +2, but 8.
Yeah.
But
So
nope.
Garrett comes back with a couple of rabbits and squirrels for you guys. Birds.
I'm going to get like a fire going.
Okay.
Poof.
17.
There we
by the
go.
way.
Control flame, get it actually like going nicely.
As you guys kind of like get everything going, kind of like settling down for the day after a long ride. I need to know who's going to take first, second, third, and fourth watch.
I'll take first. I got some good sleep yesterday.
I'll take second.
Third.
I'll take fourth.
And during the first one, she's going to carve some more things into the cart. Particular drawings. And whoever wants to is paying attention can see what they are if they want. But she is drawing certain things.
Okay.
That's the part.
Can I get
Mine
a
is sleep
perception?
yet? No, because you said
Yeah.
second watch, right?
Yep. So Emerald's first,
Yeah,
Cricket
I'd be-
second, Saphira's third.
Yeah.
Can I get a perception rolls from Cricket and Emerald?
I thought Cricket was going to sleep for first watch.
I'm just going and getting the perception rolls.
Okay, well, mine jumped out of the thing. I have to re-roll it because it went in the
Okay.
carpet and was tilted.
Oh, am I rolling one as well for fourth?
Is
No.
that number?
Okay.
Not persuasion, perception. 23.
Same.
Hey!
As you guys are kind of like on y'all's watch, Emerald, both yours and Cricket's go rather smooth. Nothing out of the ordinary occurs. It's a rather peaceful night.
Is Garrick just wandering or sitting or...
I would say like he's kind of like walking around, kind of checking on everything. He's just kind of enjoying the night sky, like just kind of enjoying the area. On your watch there, Emerald, he just kind of asks, he's like, we didn't get to talk a lot yesterday.
To be honest, I was not in the mood for a lot of talking.
I figured.
More concerned with your very sudden change of character from the last we saw you. I'm glad you still have at least your wits about you.
I've got him for the most part.
What was it like on the other side?
Strangely enough.
I hear stories, and Emerald will kind of thumb the skull at his hip, but no one directly.
Mine was filled with sorrow. I was angry. I was given a deal that's made out of, how should I say, extreme circumstances. Your stories are probably true. Because from what I can tell, they're different for everyone.
That they are.
Are you against helping me?
No, these people deserve what they have coming to them. And
Kind of grabs his sword and just kind of like looks towards Carl and he goes, "If I could, I'd kill that one right now." But I can't. And he just kind of like slides the sword back into his sheath. I'm not allowed.
well, he at least seemed to want to help us with information. I
Save
don't
his own skin.
necessarily think it was just out of the goodness of his own heart, but Cricket seems to enjoy having them around. Not sure for what, but she's well capable enough if something happens to deal with it.
Oh. I don't know what to tell you. I really don't. Don't know what to say. He just kind of gets up. Strangely enough, may I go for a walk alone? I'll be back by morning.
I have no issues with it. All I will say is if you don't come back, I'm sure Saphira will be more of a concern than I am.
That's why I'll be back. He just kind of gets up and kind of begins making his way out of the camp, but he stops. He's like, I appreciate everything. I really do.
The senseless harm of those near you hurts the most. I understand. Take your time.
Just kind of shakes his head, walks out of the camp. After a while, Cricket begins kind of like moving about, and you can realize as your watch is coming to an end. Take you wake up, Cricket.
Yep.
I'm awake.
What
She's
was your
been catching
perception?
stuff.
I am
Oh.
awake.
Oh,
I was
I thought you were
carving
taking.
in the cart.
I thought you were taking second watch.
I am taking second watch. But I
Oh.
wasn't watching for first watch, I was carving.
Oh, okay.
I will cast Mage Hand as I walk back up to the cart and just like scritch the back of Cricket's head without actually being there.
Feathers like poof off slowly.
No,
Turns around.
no comment, no nothing. There's no hand there. Just you feel a little like on the back of your head.
As yeah.
And from the front of the cart, I think it's your time to start watch Cricket.
I got touched.
I might not word it that way, but hey, I'm gonna get some sleep.
Good night. I will keep watch. You are safe. He's gonna go out and look around. Is
Oh,
Eric there?
Garrick went for a walk. He'll be back in the morning.
Oh, okay. I hope so.
As Emerald goes to bed, your watch, if I'm not mistaken, you rolled a 16.
No, I had 23 for perception.
Oh, gotcha. It goes by rather peacefully. You hear a couple of birds off in the distance, maybe an owl, or not, an owl hoot as well.
And
A
the
wolf
crickets.
howl off in the distance a little bit every now and then, but nothing major.
I start saying
Watch.
my actual name with the crickets actually outside as well. Doing a little bird dance, stepping from one foot to the other.
The time goes on. Your watch comes to an end. Stalker's time to be woken up.
By the way, occasionally during wolf howling, there was a little stir and just the tiniest little faintest howl of response from her in her sleep.
As I take it, you guys switch when it says
Oh, she
Stalker's time.
must be going for a run in her sleep. Look at her
I
go.
know.
But when I take it when Stalker's time is, you go and wake up Saphira. Okay.
I do the same. Elbow feathers to tickle nose.
Ah! Oh, hey, Cricket.
He just stares down at you in silence. It's almost ominous in a way. Your
Are you
turn.
okay? Oh.
It's your turn.
Oh, okay.
Garrick
it's
is
up.
gone.
What?
He's walking. He'll be back.
Oh. Okay.
Be careful, you'll get touched out there. But Emerald said not to say it like that.
There's so much confusion on her face.
Yeah.
Touched by what? Who? What?
You can't. You won't be able to see it. You'll feel it.
Oh boy.
It'll touch your head. Careful.
What? Who? And why?
I don't know.
My work here is done.
There is.
It does not care if you don't want touch. It touch you anyway.
Okay.
It will touch you from behind. Watch your behind.
She just like grabs her butt. Like, what?
No, no.
Anyway. Anyway.
I love it. All right, Cricket goes and lays down and leaves you there.
Saphira is
Here-
so confused and just like looking around at the dark very intently for at least 10 minutes in pure confusion.
She's gonna think it's
Roll a
Tobor.
perception.
I'm gonna start blaming Tobor for the touches. Let me just write down you get
What is
touched
that?
randomly.
Oh, 16.
The first hour of your watch, it goes pretty smoothly. I say you're kind of like sitting in the middle of the camp near the fire. How far away is that from the wagon?
Fire's probably like 10 feet, a little bit of a distance in case, the fire jumps or something.
About 10 to 20 feet from the wagon.
At most, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
About an hour into your watch, you hear off in the distance just a sound of something moving.
Oh, but I'm not Emerald, so I
You're not
can't yell
Emerald.
at Tobor for no reason. She's gotta do what she does. And how far away from the camp can I
It's
actually
about there.
see?
I would say you can see about 60 feet at most.
Okay, she'll have her bow drawn then, and just hold back an arrow,
Like-
look around in the direction.
As you're looking up in the direction a little bit, you hear coming from behind you.
Just... Fuck.
And that bouncingness of just something landing just starts becoming rather sporadic. It starts occurring rather often. You just hear
Yeah.
until finally, after a couple of minutes of this, you hear like up in a tree above you, and you just like instantly just kind of like look up in that direction. I take it.
Naked hobo.
A louder noise?
Yeah, like it's directly above you. It's like 15, 20 feet above you.
Does she have visual on anything?
Yeah, like like
Then
if you
she's
turn and look at
releasing an arrow.
like as like you kind of like look, like roll an attack roll.
Oh god, I gotta remember. Plus 6, 14.
Like as that arrow just flies off in the distance, like you just see like this almost kind of like a tiefling, but not like a tiefling, just kind of like arm, like kind of like just resting, just laying on a branch looking at you, and it's just like, I'm not gonna touch you. That's rather disturbing. But I do want to play a game. Like as like you go to like notch an arrow, like it just like vanishes. Yeah, Emerald.
Is he speaking loud enough where Emerald could hear it?
Or has he entered the alarm area?
Have
Well,
you,
he's
did
up
you
the
actually
tree,
set,
so I imagine not.
I
Set
mentioned it.
alarms.
I mentioned it previously that any night we set up on the cart, I do alarms. So if he came in within a 10-foot bubble, yes.
Okay,
Thanathil
not
does
10
it
foot. He's
too.
15 feet up at least.
But
Yeah.
can I roll at a disadvantage to see if I hear his snarky ass
Yes.
popping around?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Roll perception. Disadvantage.
With disadvantage, I rolled a 19 and a 14, so 14 plus 7. 21.
Say like you hear just the saying, I want to play a game. And as you hear this, like Saphira, you just vanish, like just a puff of smoke. And then all of a sudden, like the very same being that was just up in the tree instantly appears holding what appears to be like this demonic, almost gorilla looking like creature, just kind of like in a bear hole, just goes, my game, your turn, and let's go. And then instantly just teleports away. This thing is like not even 5 feet away from you.
Okay.
And it just automatically just growls and snarls.
She's
It's
just gonna
about-
release the knocked arrow.
Hold it. Before you say anything.
Yeah.
This thing is about twice your size. And that's what we're going to end for tonight.
Just mid like, oh fuck.
It's like just shit. Just like
Tobor, you
that's what we're
son
gonna end
of a
for
bitch.
tonight. So, with that being said, Emerald, you want to set close us out for tonight?
Sure.
I do this every night with you.
Every Sunday.
Every Sunday.
That's not
You
every
didn't
night.
do it last night. God, how dare you?
At this time,
throw this
oh,
bottle
there's
light.
not
Oh.
done.
Oh, but make sure to tune in and join us for the rest of the games we have coming up throughout the week. Tomorrow, for Monday, we have Cap's Game of the Troubleshooters. Tuesday, we have Jason's game of A World at War. Things are starting to wrap up for their campaign there, so things are getting intense. Definitely worth checking out. Wednesday, we'll be back with JT's Falskallen Knights. Thursday, I believe we're taking off of A Knight's Ransom for Thanksgiving this next week.
That's
And then we will be back Sunday for another episode of Varinheim.
Until then, we will see y'all then.